All right, good evening, everyone. Let's get this show on the road. Welcome to the 2023 Resica Falls Leaders Update, our February edition. We're thrilled to be here tonight with you and appreciate each of you taking some time tonight to be with us as we go over some of the important announcements and new things about Resica Falls this coming summer. Tonight is all about helping each of your units to have a great summer in camp. So, we'll have a chance to go through a lot of those things that are, stalwarts that are staying the same, some exciting updates, and also make sure that everybody's on the same page about to make sure that your unit can be prepared for a great summer at Resica Falls. The first thing I'd like to do tonight is introduce the team that's on the call with us here, all of our panelists tonight. So with us tonight, we have Steve Mock, who is returning for his third summer as the camp director. Woohoo! So everybody say hi to Steve. Jerry Reed, who is returning for his 43rd summer on camp staff, will be our assistant camp director again. Excited about that. Andy Connell and Jacob Huff are our program directors. They're both with us tonight. And I am John Bickle, our director of outdoor adventures for the Cradle of Liberty Council. We're all thrilled to be here and just have an opportunity to talk to you about Resica Falls. Real quick, our agenda for tonight. Again, a couple of things that we want to make sure that we touch on. I do want to make sure that there's a Q&A at the bottom of the webinar kind of taskbar, wherever that is on your screen. That's the feature that we use when we're in webinar mode to be able to interact with one another. So you'll notice throughout the night, we'll hit some of these important things. We'll be responding to the Q&A. Sometimes it'll be a typed out response within that Q&A. Other times we'll mark it as something that we're going to respond to live. So we're going to do our best to keep on top of that, but we do ask as much as possible. If you've got a question about one of these agenda item topics, please just hold off and wait, see if we answer your question before you even ask it as part of your thing. And at the end, we'll go through and answer everybody's questions that we can at the end of the night and make sure that we cover everything to make sure that you, each as unit leaders, are prepared for a great time at camp. I will note this webinar is being recorded in case you want to share it with others or you're like, oh, I missed that. Can you repeat that? We're going to share this with you. It'll be online later this week or early next week, so you can view it and share it with others. So let's get started. A couple of things that we're going to do on tonight's agenda. We're going to review some important dates. We're going to talk about what's new in 2023. We're going to talk about simplifying your first day in camp. And then, like I said, we'll wrap it up tonight with a question and answer session at the very end for things that haven't been covered yet. One thing that I do want to hop in right now and mention, we're in our second year of using the Black Pug registration software, and so far things seem to be going much better with that. Just wanted to make sure that everybody was aware that if you have any Black Pug related questions, make sure you send them to camping@colbsa.org. Later this week, we'll be releasing a change sheet. So there are certain things that in your registration you're able to handle. And there are certain things that you have to reach out to us at the council office to be able to handle, such as reducing your number of participants and some other very technical changes. So with that in mind, we'll have this change request form that will go out to all units later this week. Just wanted to let you know that was coming out. And any of your registration related Black Pug questions, please make sure that they go to camping@colbsa.org. Thanks so much. And then Matt, the next slide. Quick little promo piece, I guess. Make sure that you check out our program guide. We released the program guide, I guess it was 2 weeks ago at this point, might have been 3, but our program guide is the source for all of our camp information. So whether it's logistics, planning, or programmatic pieces, the program guide is always the place to find all of those details for your upcoming time at Resica Falls. So check us out, resicafalls.org/documents, or if you're on the website and you find the summer camp tab at summer camp, then on that drop down is the important documents tab and you'll find it there. So that's your one-stop shop for all things summer camp and all the information you'll need. So at this point, I will turn it over, I think, to Jerry to talk about some of the upcoming important dates.
Okay, we are off and running. The next slide is mark your calendars. hopefully your unit has done a few things already. You have at least registered in Black Pug, have paid a $300 unit fee, and $50 per scout, per name scout is due or has been put in the system. And by April 31st, you need another $100 per name scout on your roster. So then that brings us up to April 1st. As you can see, April 1st is a big date that everybody waits for. It's program registration. We will open merit badges, the Resica Ranger slots, and any senior scout program that Resica offers this summer. So that means by April 1st, every unit should have $150 paid per scout already. So mark that on your calendar. That's a big one. Sure, everybody will be jumping on April 1st to line up the merit badges. Another important date is April 19th, Leaders Update and a Senior SPL Edition. This is a second update, certainly for leaders, but we're going to have a good emphasis on the SPLs, how they can focus and prepare to lead the troop for summer camp this summer. So invite all your SPLs. It's going to be a great time, especially if they learn how to sign up for afternoon programs. And it'll be a big help this year, something new. We're getting the senior patrol leaders involved. On May 6th, Own Your Home Carnival. For those that have signed up to own your own home at the end of summer camp or after, this will be a day at Resica Falls of fun and adventure. We will have all sorts of program features, and hopefully you'll come for the weekend. And on Saturday, Andy and Jacob will be talking a little bit more specifics. And so May 6th is the Own Your Home Carnival at Resica Falls. May 15th, full payment is due for each scout. And that's an important one too. Don't forget that one. We asked that we have only one registration per troop. And if you will, the boys troops and the girls troops should sign up separately. You can stay in the same campsite and stuff, but as you can camp in the same campsite, but we ask that you register separately. And that way, when you get your advancement at the end of the week, it's easier for everyone, each troop, the boys and the girls, to put their advancement in ScoutNet. Okay, so that's why we ask you to do that now, to register separately. But tell us if you want to stay in the same site. And then finally, June 1st is another leaders update. Mark that on your calendar. More informations and probably a little more about program as we get closer or you have more questions. All right. And I think there's one more slide. That's it. Make new friends or bring your own. This is for our provisional camp. If you have any scouts that can't make it to your week in camp, we have provisional scouts, and that is weeks 4, 5, and 6. And so it's regular price. But if you're a scout and want to go for a second week, or have been to a high adventure program at Resica or the National Jamboree, you can come for $400 for provisional. And that's if you have camped 1 week at Resica, have done the National Jamboree or any high adventure program at Resica. The second week is only $400. What else can I tell you here? All right. I think that's it for me now, and we'll continue with program. Thanks, guys. Hope to see you soon at Resica.
All right. That is my turn here. So I'm going to talk a little bit about some merit badge changes for this upcoming summer, 2023. We've added quite a few merit badges without really knocking many out of the lineup here. But we added graphic arts to handicraft. It's one that I really liked. I did a lot of research in, and there's some really interesting and cool things that I want to bring to that area with graphic arts. We're also going to add woodworking merit badge to the shop. Those are going to be during our morning regular merit badge programs. We're also going to add chess to sports, which is something that we have done in the past from time to time. Music at STEM. They'll be doing a little bit with recording using the computers and things like that. And fingerprinting to civics, because you can't have a good mystery theme without fingerprinting some perps. And we'll be doing that at civics, while they're learning about the law and what it takes to be a good citizen. Those merit badges specifically are going to be run in the afternoons. There will be limited afternoon badges this year. So we're not running like a full schedule, but most areas are going to have a badge. Some areas might have two. Most areas are going to have that one badge at one specific time, but a few of the badges are going to string through each of the open afternoon period. So if you have scouts that aren't super interested in those afternoon adventures, they could sign up for those limited afternoon badges as well. This year, it's an all-inclusive price when your scouts sign up. So that includes badge supplies. So if, as an example, they're taking archery merit badge, that would include the arrow kit. If they're taking wood carving merit badge, that would include the block. If they are taking leatherworking, that would include the supplies that they would need for that merit badge as well. Welding, it would include the welding kit. So those are going to be made available for those scouts that are taking those badges. If you have a scout that's not taking the badge, but still wants to carve a neckerchief slide or something like that, we'll have those available for purchase. But if they're taking the badge specifically, those supplies will be included. We're also going to have a waiting list for some of the badges that a lot of people really want to sign up for. Those would be your Eagle required badges, the afternoon classes, and ATV as well. And then I'll just put it out there. I know that some people are asking about the first come, first serve. If for some reason we do have a waiting list, we have scouts that maybe are like 17 years old, they might age out and they really need to be in a badge. That's the time really to have that scout come to the office and talk to Andy and myself. We'll see if we can fit them into one of the classes that they might need. So we do try to make sure that we're able to accommodate as best that we can. So again, just as a recap, we have a good amount of new badges this year. We're going to have a few limited afternoon badges as well. All merit badge supplies are included this year, and merit badge classes, some of which are going to have a wait list as well on Black Pug. All right, very good. So I look forward to seeing everybody. Let me see. Is there anything specific in the questions for merit badges? ATV age requirement is going to be 14 years of age this year. Rangers and swimming merit badge. I'll look it up and I will answer your question. I'll type it in for you. All right. Very good. Do you want, are we going to hop to the next slide?
All right. So Andy here, we're going to talk a little bit more about what else is new in 2023. First up, we've got the Campers Campfire. This is coming back from 2019, would have been the last time we had it. It is our Wednesday night, middle of the week campfire, where troops, patrols, scouts will be encouraged to plan their own skits, songs, cheers, little fun show to put on for the rest of the campers. Of course, it'll be kind of planned through the SBL meetings in camp. We'll need to get a rundown of the skit, song, whatever the troop is performing in order to make sure it is appropriate So, get those creative juices pumping, start talking amongst yourselves at your unit meeting saying, hey, what do we want to do? Because there will be the Golden Resies, which will be an award at the closing campfire for, the best skits going on at the campfire. This was mentioned, next one was mentioned by Jacob. Reduced ATV age limit. We are going down to ages 14 and older, so 14, 15, 16 and up. For campers, we'll be able to do the ATV, and the afternoon trail rides return. So those adventures, if you've already done the safety course, they've gotten trained by our staff or have the training from before, you'll be able to do that. New streamlined check-in process are Sunday morning. Once you finally arrived into camp, you'll still be checking in at the elementary school, but once you come into camp, we're going to have a bit more of a rolling kind of check-in. Instead of having a meal deadline, you'll have an opportunity to kind of cafeteria style throughout a window, just to make sure everyone has a bit less of a stress trying to get through, campsite check-in, dining hall talks, pool talks, swim tests, all that kind of stuff. That window will end with evening colors on Sunday night. Key adventure pre-registration. A couple of our afternoon adventures and just week-long adventures to make sure everyone gets a chance to get what they want. Some of them will have an opportunity to pre-register. These are things like troop trips, to our wonderful swimming holes, Cool Dip, Fossil Rock, Little Falls, canoe trips, all that kind of stuff. Troop shoots at our archery, shotgun, and rifle ranges. We'll be able to sign up ahead of time. And last but certainly not least, our escape room that we're going to be setting up to go with our mystery theme. Troops and patrols will be able to sign up for ahead of time. And then we have our new coming in is daily inspirational reflections for scouts and leaders to kind of gather and kind of just talk about what's going on. Let's see if there's anything super relevant. Yeah. And of course, Seek, our continuing program. If any of your older scouts are interested in Seek, our program for kind of preparing camp staff, they might be interested in joining camp staff and might want to, experience it a little bit and maybe learn a bit to get a head up. Send them our way. Have them look at Seek. It is a wonderful time. All of those that participate in Seek have had a great time with it.
All right, so I'm going to talk a little bit about Seek. In 2021, we replaced our traditional CIT program with Seek. We've gotten a good amount of staff members from the program, which is excellent. We're looking to achieve 4 goals, which is how we designed the program: to develop and foster the core traits of strong leadership and character, to identify areas of personal growth in and outside of scouting, and to provide hands-on opportunities to practice skill instruction in a summer camp environment, as well as to provide a fun and meaningful program for experienced scouts looking for their next adventure. So as your scouts are getting older, they might be asking themselves, what can I do next? And, some of them can work on high 5, high adventure. They could do some of the more difficult merit badges, but this is another great adventure for them to think about. If they ever thought about being on camp staff, this would be great. But it's really good in general, learning the skills that we teach here that they could use outside of camp as well as in. So whether they want to be a staff member during the summer and then get a job outside of during the school year, this is a great resume builder. And it's really that hands-on experience that we really, strive for. Anybody can sit in a classroom and learn how to teach a merit badge or learn how to be a good leader. But we get these scouts in there, tell them about it, use the EDGE method, demonstrate it so they can go out and watch our staff doing these things. And then we guide them in doing these and say, hey, why don't you try to make a lesson plan yourself? Or why don't you try to create a game for a camp-wide program yourself? And then we, encourage them to go and run with that and utilize those. So they really get that hands-on experience. So it is a great, great program. And every year, and I say it about everything in camp, to be honest, every time I go up to visit camp is improving something. And that says a lot about Steve and Jerry and Chris before him, that, every time anybody comes to camp, they are always wowed with, what we put into our camp. And that goes with the staff that we have, as well as the program, as well as, the facilities. But here we're trying to build, the next generation of staff. And I've asked, of our admin and said, all right, who here has been a CIT? So we want to take that CIT program and bring it, into the present, which is what we're doing here with Seek. So if you have scouts that are a little older and looking for their next adventure, might want to get a little bit of experience, or want to be a camp staff member themselves, definitely check out Seek. So it is the cost of 1 week of camp, and it runs weeks 1, 2, and 3. So they kind of get 3 weeks of camp for that price of 1. So that's June 25th to July 15th. And I will also say that there is a graduation banquet, and you get to see your scouts giving a graduation speech, which is also great fun. And if you have any other questions about that, you can, again, reach out to Andy or myself. Steve could answer those questions as well. But definitely you could email jacob.huff@resicafalls.org or andy.connell@resicafalls.org, and we'd be happy to answer any of those questions for you.
Jacob, there is one question about Seek with the weeks and the ages and stuff.
Oh, perfect. Let me scroll. Oh, I see that. Very good. So we're really gearing this towards your 15 and 16-year-olds. Am I correct there, Steve? Yep. And let's see where it is. And I may have lost it. So it was ages and
Dates.
dates, yes. Again, that's weeks 1 and 3. That's June 25th to July 15th.
All right, cool. Thank you, Jacob. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that first day in camp and how we're going to simplify it and make it a little bit easier for everybody. That includes all different aspects of the check-in process. Been a couple questions in the Q&A already about check-in times, campsite assignments, things like that. Those aren't going to be assigned until much later down the road, probably following our June leaders update. So I understand your excitement to get to camp and find out some of this information, but it's going to be a couple more months until those campsite assignments and check-in times are finalized and put into place. One thing that is going to be important about making sure that we're meeting all your accommodations regarding the check-in times and campsite assignments and other special requests that you might have is that we are going to have a special request form for the units to fill out, where you guys will be able to supply us with the pertinent information and any requests, questions that you might have, so that we can kind of set up your experience in camp to be a bit more enjoyable for everybody, based around your needs and requests and things like that. That form's going to go live when the merit badge registration goes live on April 1st. And then we'll be, when we send out and tell you about the merit badge registration going live, we'll also put out there that that special request form's also live for people to fill out and put in requests, whether you want to share a campsite with another unit, whether you're a boy or girl troop that are linked up that want to be in campsites together or campsites not together. You're traveling from far away, so you want an early check-in time, late check-in time. all that will be handled through that special request form. And we're trying to really channel those requests to that form rather than have it be all over the place in different people's inboxes and voicemails and stuff like that. So we're still going to be operating Resica Elementary as our first step of the check-in process. Your check-in time that is assigned to you is the time that you're going to arrive at Resica Elementary School. We understand that check-in has been a rather long experience for many people in recent years, ourselves included. So we're looking to try and refine that process and make things run a little more smoothly. So at the elementary school, you will all park in the back parking lot at the school. Jerry and I will be there to welcome you, take any paperwork that you have, verify your unit counts, things like that. At that point, we'll also have everyone that's staying in camp for the week, scouts and leaders, participate in a medical recheck, which includes a review of the health medical record, and then a couple health screening questions that will take place. Once we get everybody all cleared in camp, all cleared, we'll send you on up to camp, where you'll arrive at the unloading point, get your gear unloaded, and head into the campsite. At that point, not too much has really changed based upon checking in the past. But what's now going to happen is there's going to be a window of time, and Andy kind of alluded to this a little bit earlier on in the evening, but there's going to be a window of time where you will go and complete the things that you need to complete as part of the check-in process in an order that's going to work best for your unit with your site host, with your troop guide that's guiding you throughout the process. So if there's a line at the pool for swim tests, go to the dining hall talk first. If you guys have never been to Resica Falls before, ask your guide to give you a tour around camp. And we'll be able to just kind of make sure the day is going to be good for everybody. With that, dinner is going to be served as a buffet, cafeteria style, rather than a sit-down meal. And that will also be a 2-hour window within that afternoon from 5 to 7 o'clock, where you'll be able to go and eat dinner and just kind of relax and not have to feel the rush of, I got to get the dinner by 5:30 because I'm in the first seating and we need to get our swim test taken care of. It's going to make for a much more flowing first day experience with all those pieces that need to happen: swim test, aquatics orientation, dining hall orientation, and that opening meal all coming into play before we have our big opening ceremony on the parade field, our Sunday evening leaders meeting, and then the opening campfire and things like that. So that kind of sets up what the first day is going to look like and how those elements are going to change. And we'll go into some specifics with required forms and things like that at one of our later updates. So that way it's all fresh in your mind before you come to camp. I'm scrolling through the Q&A right now, see if there's any questions pertaining to some of the things that I just talked about. Absolutely, swim tests can be completed before your arrival in camp. There's a swim test form for your unit to fill out, and it can be sent in, and the buddy tags will be made, and then that swim test is one less thing that you have to do on that first day in camp. Question about the address for Resica Elementary School. That's going to be 1 Gravel Pike, and that is East Stroudsburg, PA 18301. And that is also published in the program guide about the information on your first day in camp. So I'm going to transition on to the next piece, which is going to be talking about our Webelos week in camp. During week 6, we launched this last year. We offered a resident Webelos program. And I can say for the scouts that participated in it, as well as for the majority of the staff, this was one of the highlights of the summer. It was a new thing that we hadn't done at Resica before, with a full week resident program, where it's been a very long time since we had a full week resident program for Webelos at Resica. And it was just a great opportunity for the Cubs to get outdoors, spend a week in camp. They worked on 6 or 7 of their adventure pins, went on a hike, did a whole bunch of different activities, and it was a great experience. So if you have any neighboring or friendly Cub packs that you're are looking for a great opportunity during our week 6, which is July 30th to August 5th, point them in the direction to resicafalls.org/Webelos, and they can find out information about our Webelos week. We have already 24 Webelos signed up. So that's 10 more than we had last summer. It's going to be a great experience, and we're really looking forward to continuing to grow that program.
I'm gonna hype up and do a little recruiting for camp staff. Camp staff is super fun. It is a blast. It is honestly one of the best ways to really be spending your summer here into scouting. It really helps get a lot of experience, a lot of fun, lifelong friendships. A lot of people, gain a lot of useful skills, leadership skills for your troop, academic skills for school and college. A whole bunch of useful stuff comes out of it, and you get paid, and you get out of the house. That can be a pro for both parents and kids. It's great for everyone. Everybody wins. So like if any of your scouts or kids are interested in joining camp staff, especially if they have any kind of interest in lifeguarding and swimming, we do certify our staff to be lifeguards. We go put them through the training, or first year scout instructional skills, right? So if your scout is a troop guide and really likes teaching those first year scouts, their square knots, their bowlines, their first aid, all that kind of stuff. But even anything beyond that, STEM, archery, if they've had a fleeting interest in joining camp staff and are really interested in doing it, send them our way. Applications are live at resicafalls.com. Hit the join staff button, fill out an application, and feel free to reach out to us via the emails as well. There we go. And then next time, April 19th at 7 p.m., back here, still on Zoom, will be a leaders meeting specifically for the SPLs, the ASPLs as well, but really just that youth leadership of the troop. Scouting, as you know, is a youth-led program, so we really want to lean into that, right? Have the SPLs, the youth leaders, be involved and engaged in the planning and their summer camp experience. Get them to kind of that head start about the afternoon adventures, about the games, the campfires, all that kind of stuff. So please make sure that your SPLs and your ASPLs, and even for the larger troops, perhaps some patrol leaders, know about this leaders update that's coming out April 19th, 7 p.m., and make sure that they register and at least one of them is there for it. It would be a great help, and it'll really set your troop up for success on their arrival in camp.
Okay. Thank you, Andy. We're going to go through some of the Q&A questions that are still here in the chat or in the question and answer feature. Just answer quite a few of them out loud now, since that the written questions and responses aren't recorded as part of the Zoom recording. So we want to make sure that some people are aware of things if they're watching the recording after the fact. What time is the merit badge registration going to open on April 1st? We still haven't nailed down a time. We'll certainly notify you when April 1st is a Saturday. Okay. So it will probably be sometime on Saturday morning. Nothing too ridiculously early. Someone had a question regarding the meal times, scheduling of meals. Sunday evening is the only meal that's going to be different with that 5 to 7 window. All the other meals are scheduled, structured. Breakfast and dinner are served family style in the dining hall, and lunch is served cafeteria style in the dining hall. You will be assigned to either be in the blue meal or the gray meal. And those meal times and everything are printed in the program guide. It's only that Sunday evening as part of the flexible check-in that's going to be a little bit different with the meal times. Someone's asking about our device policy. It's really up to the unit how you want to handle cell phones and things like that in camp. We do offer Wi-Fi in the dining hall. We do have cell phone charging stations available throughout camp for the scouts to put down a deposit on for a key and hopefully not lose, so they get their deposit back. And that is so it's up to the unit, right? We have the means to accommodate and support those scouts and leaders that are going to be bringing devices, but if the unit doesn't want them to have them, that's okay. They may need them for certain merit badge classes, but just because they wouldn't have a device wouldn't preclude them from earning the merit badge either. The counselor would certainly be able to make accommodations and things like that. If they had to look something up, there'd be other ways for them to research and things like that. Let's see what we got. Somebody asked a question about the Native American village. So we are highlighting our Native American village program. We're going to move Indian Lore Merit Badge into handicraft. We're going to move fly fishing into sports, and we're going to give archaeology a couple summers of a breather. It's just a program that we feel doesn't necessarily hit upon everything that we think a program area should be. And we're going to still offer some of those neat aspects of the program without having that Native American village, that physical space for it to happen. Let's see what else we got there. Going back to look at the program registration when that happens, it is really a first come, first served basis. Jacob touched upon it a little bit. If there's, special circumstances that need to be made, obviously you can talk to us before camp or once you arrive at camp. But the merit badge registrations and things like that do occur on April 1st and after, those slots are first come, first served once the registration is open. Scouts that are new do not need to participate in the Resica Rangers program. Resica Rangers is our first-year camper program. They have the opportunity to work on certain requirements for Scout, Tenderfoot, second class, and first class, as well as earn exploration and nature merit badges as part of the whole program. But if you have Scouts that they're going to have some of those requirements or most of those requirements sorted out, and they rather take merit badges during their week at camp, that's absolutely fine. They don't have to be a part of the first year camper or the Resica Rangers program. Someone's asking about booking a troop visit to camp. You absolutely would be able to come and visit camp. Myself and Jerry and Jacob and Andy, we've all given tours on weekends for units that have stopped by and things like that. And our 2 rangers, Nick and Bill, are there all year long as well. So if you want to schedule a visit because you haven't been to Resica before, or it's been a while and you just want to see what camp has to offer, you can certainly reach out to us at hello@resicafalls.org, and we can schedule something for you to come and visit camp. 'Camp. Couple questions about dietary restrictions. We'll address those at probably one of our April leaders meetings, at the April's leaders meeting, but there'll be a special dietary request form that'll go to our food service company, and they'll be able to accommodate any dietary needs. They're very, very well skilled at this, and they've spent lots of time preparing and answering special requests in terms of diet and things like that. What else we got here? Okay, somebody, if there's proof for Jamboree participants, okay. We're all scouts here, so we typically will go with Scouts Honor in terms of the Jamboree participants, those high adventure-based participants and things like that. And if there's anything that's kind of called into question by it, our council support staff will be following up with maybe other local councils and things like that. So you just need to notify them that the scout had participated and the National Jamboree, and the discount would be able to be applied. Yep. Another question about the Jamboree discount, the $400, that also applies if they are attending camp one of the earlier weeks as well. Okay, let's see what else we got here. All right, somebody has a question about the Order of the Arrow program. The camp leadership, in conjunction with UNAMI Lodges 1, youth officers and advisors, looked at the OA and camp program and what was happening at camp, and felt that the summer ordeal and brotherhood experiences were not necessarily to the caliber that the lodge wanted and that the camp wanted. So we're going to the lodge has decided that we should take a couple years off from offering ordeal and brotherhood during summer camp, and we're going to go about looking at that for the future with how that is going to play itself out. Okay, let's see what we got. All right. And I think that hits all of our questions. Yeah, no, another question about the OA. So there are 3 and actually 4 lodge weekends this year that are deal and brotherhood opportunities, and the scouts that are looking to do their deal and brotherhood can look at unamilodge.org, and those opportunities are there listed for them. We will still be having a call out ceremony that will kind of conclude the campers campfire on Wednesday evening, and that'll be the last piece of that. So those scouts that are that have been elected to do the ordeal, whether they are part of UNAMI Lodge or they are from another troops from other councils with other OA lodges, we will still have an OA call out on Wednesday evening. We do need permission from your lodge to have those scouts participate in the call out, but we'll still have a nice call out ceremony following that on Wednesday evening. See. There's a variety of different evening programs that are being offered. There's campwide activities each and every evening, right? Sunday evening, there is an opening campfire. Monday evening, there's a big spring sports tournament. Tuesday and Thursday evenings, we have different twilight programs around camp. The campers campfire on Wednesday evening. We have our campwide conundrum all week. I'm sorry, that's the campwide games. We have a week-long scavenger hunt. We have a triathlon race on Tuesday evening. Lots of different activities that are involved with the program, not just merit badges. All right. And last question is about Rangers. Last question we'll take is about swimming merit badge for Rangers. One thing that we've noticed, particularly in the last 2 summers, is that many scouts that are coming and being a part of the Resica Rangers program, and it's their first year in camp, they don't have the same swimming ability that they once did. So rather than put them into swimming merit badge, we've decided that we're going to focus in on the instructional swim aspect and their second class and first class aquatic requirements with the scouts that are participating in the Resica Rangers program. That's going to allow them to hone those skills, become stronger swimmers, and be more successful at completing swimming merit badge when it comes to taking that badge in subsequent summers. That's just how we're handling swimming merit badge with Rangers right now. If the ability and the swimming know-how changes with scouts as time goes on, we'll certainly look at implementing it back into being part of the Resica Rangers program. But we're focusing in on developing those more basic skills with them that they seem to not have right now in the way that they had in years past. So that's why we've decided to take swimming merit badge out of the Resica Rangers program for right now. And I think that hits all the questions at this point. So we're going to kind of conclude this and wrap this all up. Thank you, everyone, for coming and joining us. The session will be available by the end of this week or the beginning of next, like John said. So you'll be able to view that at youtube.com/Resica Falls. We also have a variety of other videos, promotional videos, previous leaders updates from last summer, our Big Springs Camp Staff podcast that took place during our virtual summer camp in 2020 is up on our YouTube channel. So lots of neat things for people to check out there as well. If you have any other questions, we'll be more than happy to get back to you in a relatively speedy fashion. You can email us at hello@resicafalls.org, and we're going to be keeping in touch, and we'll see you all soon. Thanks for coming.